Hi, my name is Mr. Johns and welcome to Dance and Drama Matters. Today's question is, can a dance have a meaning? Welcome back! So in our previous lessons we were learning about how dance can be varied by changing our energy, our space, our timing, so like our tempo, and also the size of our movements. That's all well and good, and I'm sure that your dances all looked very good because we were focusing on how to make dances interesting and how to make dynamic contrasts and how to look really cool while we're dancing. But can a dance be more than just moves? Yes, they can. Dances hold meanings. They tell stories, and when you watch certain dances, you should feel certain ways. So you might watch a hip-hop funky dance, and it might make you feel really good and really happy and really energetic. Or you might watch a contemporary lyrical dance and it might be quite sad and it might move you to tears. If a dance can make us feel really happy or even make us feel sad to the point where it makes us feel like we want to cry, how does it do that? And how can we take control of that and harness that power and put that into our dances and make our dances meaningful too? That's what we're going to focus on today, is making our dances meaningful and adding some meaning to our movements. So for our warm-up, we're going to do an activity called coloured moves. So for this activity, we're going to have to brainstorm some words we think about when we think of different colours. So for example, when I think about red, I think about anger, I think about fire, I think about feeling embarrassed, like the red in my cheeks. Also, red's a colour that we really often associate with danger. I think of yellow, I typically think like bright, happy, sunshine and sparkles, that kind of stuff. And if I were to think of blue, I would think of the sea and dolphins, or the sky, or feeling really calm. So you think of your favourite colour, and then think about some of the things that pop to your mind when you think of that colour, and write them down. So now that you've written down your favourite colour, and you've written down some things that make you think of that colour, then I want you to choose one thing. So say I'm going to choose red, and the one thing I'm going to choose from red is anger. So I'm going to make a little bit of a dance about anger. So now I need to think about an activity that makes me angry. So say if your word was dolphins, you could think about an activity that involves dolphins. So like you could go whale watching and see some dolphins. But mine is angry, so I'm going to think about something that makes me feel angry. So I know I feel very angry when I have to go to the supermarket and buy all of my groceries because they get very expensive and I have to spend all of my money. All of my money that I work really hard for, I have to hand over my money. Now I'm going to act out that activity of being in the grocery store and doing some shopping and then having to hand over my money at the very end. It doesn't look very exciting and it doesn't really need to look exciting. I just need you to go away and you're going to act out whatever word it was that you associated with your colour. So if you did choose dolphins, you can go and act out doing some whale watching and you can spot a dolphin and get very excited about that. Or like me, you could act out going to the shops and then angrily having to pay for your groceries at the end. Welcome back from our warm-up, and if you haven't done it, then make sure you go back and do it because we're going to use our warm-up in our activity today. So for our task today, our learning intention is we'll explore ways to communicate our ideas in our dance. So it's all about communicating by expressing our ideas and our thoughts to our audience. How can we do that? I just did an activity where I walked through the shops and I didn't look very angry up until the very last minute where I was angry when I was paying for my groceries. But as an audience member, they're not going to know that that's what I'm talking about. They're not going to know that that's why I'm doing the dance, to show anger. So how can I show and communicate to an audience that I'm angry and the dance is about anger? So we're going to learn to use a choreographic device called repetition. Repetition, as a choreographic device, means exactly the same thing again. In our dance, we can choose the most important part or the part that holds the meaning for us, and we can choose to repeat that throughout the dance. And that way we'll emphasize how important it is, our audience will focus on it, and our idea will be communicated with the audience. So our task for today is to take our activity from our warm-up and find the important part about it and choose that and repeat that through repetition throughout our whole sequence of movement. With my activity, my angry part, like I was telling you about, was that I was angry about having to pay. So I'm going to choose the paying motion and I'm going to add that through my whole activity, and then that way I'll have some movement that will really emphasize my anger. So our success criteria for today is I can use repetition to show the meaning of my dance. I'm going to repeat my paying movement so that I can communicate that that's the whole reason why I'm angry. Here's what that looks like. So now it's your turn to go and create your dance. Find the bit that's the most important part that you want your audience to really focus on, that communicates your meaning, and repeat that and slice it in through your dance so that you can really communicate the meaning. Great work. So now it's your time to perform it to someone else. So find someone you can perform it to, and it's a really good idea if you film it. That way you can watch it over afterwards and see how you've gone. Alright, so let's reflect on our learning today. Was there enough repetition to establish the meaning in your movement? And on the flip side of that, was your repetition overused? Did you use it too much and it kind of take away from the whole rest of your dance? Alright, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll see you next week. Bye!